Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena for another Florida Everblades pregame show alongside Jake Maurice. I'm Ali Bellucci. We're here for round 3, game 1 against the Newfoundland Growlers. Jake, this series is going to be an interesting one. Everyone knows it. What do you expect out of game 1 here tonight?
Well, this is the best team the Everblades have played in the playoffs so far, bar none. So I'm expecting, based on the 3 games we saw these guys in the regular season in late March here at Hertz Arena, those games were kind of middle of the pack in scoring, defensively important, and we're going to get an unbelievable goaltending matchup. I mean, Cam Johnson versus Dryden McKay. That's about as good as you can get in the ECHL in the playoffs right now. Those two are playing lights out, so I'm really excited to see that.
Growlers have only lost 2 games in playoffs so far. Florida has lost 3. Matchup-wise, we're going head-to-head here for the next 7, heading back to Newfoundland for games 4 and then on. What do you expect out of the first 20 minutes? You know it's going to be a tough start. Head coach Brad Ralph has said the first period is going to be important no matter what and who we're playing. But specifically with Newfoundland, getting off to a hot start, how important is that here tonight?
It's going to be huge, especially there's going to be a little bit probably over the first couple shifts of just feeling out process, because it's not like with Jacksonville, South Carolina, where the Everblades played them a whole bunch in the regular season. The Everblades played Newfoundland 3 times, and it's kind of hard to really, you can go back and look at the video and get what you can from it, but you just don't know them the same way as you do playing a team 10 times going into a playoff series. So there's going to be a little bit of that, but yeah, you've got to get a good start. And especially here, game 1, Everblades gets a start at home. You're staring down potentially 4 games in Newfoundland. You need to get yourself off on the right foot, because winning up there in Newfoundland, it's tough. The Blades did it last year in the playoffs. They won 2 games, but that was different. They were only up there for 2. You're potentially going up for 4 straight. That's a big ask. So getting as much of a series lead as Florida can going up to Canada is going to be huge.
You mentioned it earlier, 3 games that Newfoundland was here this year, pretty physical. We can expect some more physicality tonight. Do you expect Florida to lean into it more or kind of stay away from it and focus more offensively on the skill part?
I think you lean into it as much as it benefits your game plan. So if the Blades, if they want to do some more skilled plays, maybe you don't go into it as much. If you're trying to pound them on the walls, control the perimeter, you're absolutely going to lean into it more. You're going to see what kind of style Newfoundland is trying to play, and if taking away physicality or adding physicality throws them off their game, then you adjust and do that accordingly. But yeah, Newfoundland, they got some big bodies on their team. I mean, Keenan Souther's 6'8", 245 pounds. You're not going to find anyone bigger on the ice, so you got to be ready to take some punishment on the wall and give it right back tonight for sure.
Coach Brad Ralph said this morning that every hit is an investment here tonight and in this series, so we're going to go off of that. Let's go back to last round for a second. Series ended in Jacksonville. Florida had to go back for the last 2 games. What did you see, or what stood out to you about Florida that really just made them solidified in the ending of the series in Jacksonville?
Well, I think that one-day rest in between games 5 and 6 really helped. It helped the Blades kind of reset, kill Jacksonville's momentum to a degree. And then in game 6, we saw the importance of getting the first goal. Florida gets that opening strike from Tyler Irvine, and you could see it took a lot out of Jacksonville because they had feasted on getting the leads in games 4 and 5. In game 6, they could never do that. In Florida, they've been excellent when they've been out front, so it's going to be very important for Florida to get that first goal and then build on it just like they did in game 6. And also in game 6, Tyler Irvine was amazing, right? A hat trick. Played great. Levko Koper was also good, a goal and 2 assists for himself. That line is really stepping their game up over the last few, and that's exactly what you need. Sometimes in the playoffs, you need just one player to have their absolute best game, career game, and that can get you to a win, whether it's a goalie. We've seen that with Cam Johnson in the playoffs or with Tyler Irvine in game 6. Just a couple players stepping up would be huge tonight for the Blades starting off this series.
More special teams talk. Florida ended the series in Jacksonville, game 6, 2 for 2 on the PK, over 2 on the power play. Do you expect to see any adjustments on the power play, man advantage, to get some things going on that unit, or do you think we're going to stay status quo here?
Well, we saw adjustments on the PK, and that's why it succeeded. Jacksonville, they scored the 4 goals in game 4 on the power play, and then they got another crucial one in game 5, so it was great to see Florida lock that down. In terms of the power play, I can't imagine there will be too many adjustments, at least in terms of personnel. Maybe a little bit of system changes. But, of course, the main thing tonight is that you're going up against a different power play and PK unit than the last series. So you're going to have to make adjustments based on that, which, unfortunately, you're not really going to know exactly what you need to do until you actually play them. You can review the tape from the regular season games for sure, but there were players that weren't there in those games that are here now that are going to be major factors for Newfoundland on their special teams. So that's going to change the dynamic of things. Tonight is going to be a real litmus test for this series, and it's going to be a great learning experience for both teams. They're going to really know what they're going up against.
You talked about some of those players. Do you have any players in mind? My mind goes directly to Zach Solo on Newfoundland. He got sent down yesterday from Toronto. So are there any players that stand out to you on Newfoundland that you're like, yeah, you need to lock this down pretty fast?
Tyler Boland,
Yep.
who got sent down. He's only played 3 games with Newfoundland. He already has 6 points. He's operating at a goal a game pace, an assist a game pace right now. It's basically talking with some of the other people around the league. It's basically like Newfoundland just got a first-line center for free in the middle of the second round. So you're going to have to be very wary when Boland's on the ice.
And Zach Solo is he knows Everblades very well. He's going to come out hot, I think, come out swinging.
He helped us last year knock Newfoundland out.
Right.
This
now
year,
he's on the other side.
on the other side, not going to be as good. I know some of his family will be here cheering him on. And it'll be great to see him again because he wasn't here for those games back in March. But once the puck drops, he's just another Growler.
Yep, just another familiar face. All right, more pregame show magic. Jake, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go with Sean Jocelyn. He had 3 goals against Newfoundland back in the regular season.
Yep.
He is right now tied for second in goal scoring in the ECHL playoffs with 7 alongside Tyler Irvine after his hat trick. He's just been a consistent contributor. We talked about the power play. He's been the most lethal weapon on that. So he's my guy. You want your big guns to come out into game 1. And he's probably offensively the biggest gun Florida's had so far.
I like it. I'm going to go Logan Lambden. He's been consistent all postseason. I think he's kind of been a strong presence all around and has gotten a couple points, so I'm going to go him.
Yeah, he's been really good in the playoffs, and he scored some very clutch goals as well.
Round 3, Jake. 3 keys of the game. What do you got?
Well, we talked about physicality. Of course, that's going to be very important. Newfoundland, they're a big team. I'd expect they're going to lean into it, but you're never quite sure. Helping out the goaltender, making sure that you control the front of your net, get those pucks away. Don't let the big bodies from Newfoundland screen Johnson. Let him have clean eyes at the pucks. And then at the other end of the ice, you got to be strong on your forecheck. When you dump pucks in, there's got to be a guy going hard after the puck to go get those deep battles inside your opponent's end and set up for sustained offense. That's going to be huge for the Blades to get a win, not just in this game, but in the series as a whole.
All right, Blades fans, it's going to be a fun one. Round 3, game 1 starts here tonight. Get loud for some Friday night hockey warm-ups, and puck drop are up next.